Well, holidays are over, and it's five-time champion Jorge Lorenzo with us here in the MotoGP Guru studio ahead of the British Grand Prix. Nice to see you, first of all.
Nice to see you, Greg.
It's been 9 years since the MotoGP days. I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Honestly, I didn't remember so well.
No, I'm not surprised.
Because
my hair's a bit more grey.
I know a lot of people. 9 years has been a lot.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see you again. And
I remember your face. I think you're quite recognisable. You're the most successful rider, of course, in the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And one man, Jorge, who's commentated on almost all of your races is Mr. Nick Harris, who's just down the road at Oxford. Nick, the weather, first of all, this weekend. That's the great thing I guess we have to talk about. You just never know, do you, with Silverstone?
No, you don't know with Britain, do you? But Silverstone in particular, of course, the one that was called off completely 5 years ago. The weather forecast is very mixed this weekend. You're never quite sure what's coming at Silverstone.
Well, where should we start then, guys, with silly season? Nick, let's throw a few questions at Jorge here, because there's so much going on, and it's almost as impossible to predict the silly season as it is the race this weekend, isn't it?
It is. The first domino's been pushed over, isn't it? Alex Rins going to Yamaha. I think that's a major coup for Yamaha. Shows how serious they are. But after that, what is going to happen? It gets earlier and earlier every year, the silly season. We're nowhere near halfway through the season. We're already putting people on bikes for next year. I mean, there's others to look at. Obviously, Rins has gone. Kusta, what's he going to do from Moto 2? Jorge Martin. And, of course, the big question everybody asks all the time, what about Marc Marquez? What is he going to do?
What do you reckon? You're the maestro. Is he going to stay with Honda? Is he going to go to KTM? No one really knows.
Well, for sure, nobody has the crystal ball. And for sure, Marc Marquez, Honda will know much more than we know. But, you know, in my opinion, and the most beautiful thing for everyone, for the championship, for Honda and for Marc Marquez, should be that they will continue till the end of the contract. Why? Firstly, because Honda has been always loyal to Marc Marquez. Also because Honda without Marc Marquez in the last 8 years or 10 years, they will not get any world title. So Honda must be very grateful to Marc. But it's true that because the injuries, Marc Marquez was out of the championship half of the races in 3 years.
Yeah.
And if I don't understand it bad, Honda didn't cut any euros to the contract. A huge contract that they make to Marc was like a normal contract, because normally it's 1 or 2 years contract.
Yeah.
It was a 4-year contract. And Honda didn't take out any euro to Marc. And this loyalty, now that in difficult moments where Honda really need the support and help from Marc to make a better bike, I think Marc needs to remember that in that moment. And the most beautiful thing for me is that everything goes as planned, no?
I got to say, Jorge, Honda have got to come up with something for him to ride, because at the moment it's quite obvious that the bike is not good enough for Marc.
Well, I don't think Honda is also happy with this situation, and I don't think Honda is not trying everything they can to give Marc and the rest of the riders, the best bike. If they didn't, it's because they couldn't do it, no? For sure, the best interest for Marc is to win races and championship, and the best interest for Honda is to win races and championship, no?
Yeah, what about other moves? Obviously, with Rins going to Yamaha, I think that shows how serious Yamaha are, don't you, to sign Rins? But it does open the way for others, doesn't it? Costa, of course, from Moto 2, and Jorge Martin, what's he going to do? It's a very interesting situation.
I can't imagine Acosta not being on the grid next year. Can you?
Yeah, you know, for sure it's his intention, for sure, and the intention of his manager, and they are fighting for it. But if they don't make any new team, sounds difficult this to happen, no? Because Paul Espargaro have one more year contract.
Yeah.
Augusto has renewed another year. The 2 KTM factory riders have contract. Sounds difficult.
Okay, well, with that in mind, let's make our predictions. And I think you're going to be laughing at me, but we'll have a go anyway. You'll probably laugh at me as well, Nick, because you usually do.
I am already.
I'm going to get mine out
You
of the way.
haven't
Yeah, well, you
started
always
yet.
are, aren't you? You always are. As you can see, I've gone for Jorge Martin for the pole and the sprint, because we know he's quick on the one lap. Bit boring, really. I'm going for Jack Miller for the Grand Prix, because I've got a feeling it might rain.
Jack Miller will win.
You don't agree, do you?
Well, he have not so many wins.
No,
So
true. I just remember him winning I think it was Le Mans in the West, but yeah.
it's not so simple.
No, it's very
If it
difficult.
rains, have more possibilities than on the dry. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, and I think it will rain, but who knows? Nick, what do you reckon? I mean, you're cheating in a way because you're only down the road, so you can sort of put your finger in the air. You know what the weather's going to do.
I'm just looking out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right, okay.
Cheating.
I've really stuck my neck out. He was in pole position last year, and I so wanted to win a race at some point.
You
I go
always
for
say him.
Zarco. Yeah, Zarco in pole position. And for the sprint, I've gone for Binder, but I don't know quite how good the KTM will be in the race. And for the race itself, Bagnaia, I think it would be very difficult to beat on the Ducati, depending on the weather.
Yeah, and remember, Bagnaia, of course, has that 35-point lead in the championship over Jorge Martin. Okay, you're a 47-time MotoGP Grand Prix winner on the podium 114 times. You must know better than us. What's going to happen?
As Nick say, Zarco made the pole position last year.
Yeah.
Zarco made lot of pole positions, and I think Ducati is strong in Silverstone. Zarco is also strong on the rain, so Zarco have possibilities. So I put it Zarco for pole. Sprint 1, as I suppose, can rain. Bezzecchi is a rain specialist,
True.
but can also perfectly win also on the dry. So I will put Bezzecchi for first place. But for the race, I think Pecco is very constant, very stable, can recover positions during a long race. I will put Pecco for the race.
Well, Jorge, thank you very much. Nick, we'll say goodbye to you as well. Obviously, you're at Silverstone, aren't you, briefly this weekend? So have a good time. Keep dry. Take your umbrella.
I will, and hopefully the sun will shine. And and my predictions have picked me up loads of points.
MotoGPGuru.com for all the latest. Lots of prizes available. But good luck, everybody. Fingers crossed for this weekend. And we'll be back before the Austrian Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. Thanks again.